like to thank everybody for stopping by today. If this is your first time here, take some time when we're done and just look around at everything that we have. Appreciate you coming out today. Today we're doing kind of an honor day for our old Elida Fire Department. And I don't mean old as in just village, our village. And we've had some of our friends stop in today to visit. Now these young men, back in the day, I recall them being called the kids. So for my dad always called this group here the kids because they were a lot younger than dad. So we're gonna let the kids talk today, and Jason's gonna kind of interview you. What we're doing here is we had a group of the women come in from down, then we had a group of the guys that came in, and Ralph and Ray were involved in that. Jason's putting them on a little, in my thumb drive, is that what I'm supposed to call it? Okay. Eventually, we'd like to have a small television up here in the corner, put that thumb drive on there, so that on Sundays when we're open, we can put that thumb drive in there, and it can be playing and showing these interviews for people as they come in to visit. Jace, I'm gonna turn it over to you and sit back and listen to the kids talk.
Kids.
Okay, Dad.
That's a new one. Well, you guys straighten up.
Yes, sir, Chief.
All right, so we're gonna start with Ralph, and then we'll go across. But I want you guys to tell me your name, and then when you guys started as a volunteer firefighter. Ralph, you're first.
Ralph Long Sr., 1974.
Lanny Bailey, 1968.
Ray Sroufe, January of 64.
Sam Mumma, 1974.
Alrighty.
So
You came on the year I graduated, all right.
Yes, we are the old ones.
So I'm trying to think. How many fires did you guys?
Oh, wow.
And yeah,
That's
and
a
then
number I can't come up with.
Got no clue.
actually, let's do this too. What year did you guys leave the fire department in then too? Ralph and then across. I just want to like get a sense of how many decades we're talking here.
Well, I was there 50 years.
Okay.
You look like it too.
Well, I feel like it too, Chief.
I was there 39 years.
I was there until American Township took it. So I don't know how many that was. I just forgot when that,
2007.
7. So from 64 to 2000 anyway, 2005.
30-some, yeah, 30-some, 36, something like that, 38.
Yeah, between American Township and Elida, I had 46 years.
Wow. That's probably a lot of fires then, I'm sure.
So you want to know why I started?
Yeah, sure.
It's weird. I was working at the school as a bus mechanic, Elida School.
Mm-hmm.
How about that?
So the convention, which they have once a year, the 50-year convention was in Ada. So I took the band over to the parade. And I'm sitting on a curb minding my own business, watching the parade. Fire truck goes by and the Chief Floyd Adams is on the back of the truck. He said, "Hey, get on the truck, I want to talk to you." So I get on the truck, this is on a Saturday. He said, "You're working in a village, aren't you?" I said, "Yeah, I just feel good. Be at the fire department Monday night because now you're on the fire department. Because we need daytime help." That's how it started.
Floyd was my next door neighbor.
Stepped off 50 years later.
So you didn't volunteer by your own will then? It sounds
No,
like.
I was voluntarily drafted. Yeah. But it is awesome.
That's an interesting topic though. How about next up?
Well, I graduated high school in 63. Met a girl from Elida.
And a good one.
Got married in 65. And moved to Elida.
Where'd you graduate from?
Gomer.
Oh, okay.
Gomer
All
Tech.
that way.
Married her, moved to Elida. And Janie's dad, Everett Seaman, asked me if I would like to be on the fire department. And of course, my father-in-law was on.
Yeah.
Everett lad. So
Pressured, he was very
I
pressured.
said, well, I'll come to a meeting and see if I like it. So I was there ever since, 39 years later.
I was working for American Township at the time, and the building, American Township building was down here on Main Street, across from the fire department. And Clyde Strayer had the phone in his store, and I was available during the daytime and once in a while. And that's when that's how I got started into that, just to help out. Well, I helped out, I guess. And that was back in, and I just got married in '63 and moved, I was living down, bought the house off of Janie's dad, 110 East Main Street.
Mhm.
Bought the house there when I got married and was living there beside another fireman, was Tom Stalter. And we used to run from his place down to the station. I was just in the proximity and was available. So that's how I got started.
Well, I got started through Ralph. I bought a house off of Ralph. He said, well, now you're close by, you ought to get on the fire department. So that was on Sunnydale Avenue. So that's how that all started. Guess, long story short.
So Sam, got a question for you.
Uh-oh.
For those of you that don't know, our phone number at the fire department was 339-2511. What was your phone number, Sam? You remember?
It was the same as the fire department, instead of, the first three numbers were different.
331.
Yeah, mine was 331.
So about the
got-
phone call you got one night.
I get a phone call one night, middle of the night, I answered the phone, I said, hello. And the guy on the other end says, we've got a pizza at the fire chef. I said, what? We got a pizza at the fire chef. I said, I don't know what you're talking, do you have a fire or what? Yeah, the pizza chef's on fire. I said, well, I am not the fire department, but I will call the fire department because I am a fireman. And we ended up at the fire chef, or pizza chef.
So you know where the pizza chef was at?
Yes, I
I was
do.
thinking up on 309, but it could be
Right
wrong.
where Robb Avenue comes out on.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Where Pat's Donut and Cream's at.
Yeah.
Close to the edge of the township then, right?
Mm,
It's not that far.
It was still township.
It was still
Yeah.
township.
The city didn't come in until clear up Cole Street.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that was
so-
another restaurant in there before. it was
Ralph's.
Pizza Chef.
Ralph's.
Ralph's. I was thinking
Family
R, I'm
restaurant.
like, but I couldn't think what, okay.
Yep.
Where Rob comes into 309 was a carryout.
Yeah, they blowed up.
They blowed up.
Blowed the roof off. Well, it didn't blow it off, it raised it up about that far. Put it back down.
They never did.
Yeah, that was an
solve
interesting fire too.
They never did solve that.
No.
There's
solved
probably
it
a
as to
handful
being,
of them that never got
we'll
solved,
say
though, I'm
intentional.
sure.
Not who did
But,
it.
yeah, I mean, you don't usually see a gasoline can sitting inside empty.
Makes you a little unnerving when you're standing there with a fire hose and there's a gas can beside you.
That's like one of the fires out on Cremine Road. We've been there putting Christ's barn out. We had to cut a hole in the back end of the building to get in. And I went in there with a hose and knocked it down, and I'm sitting in a little room and I said, holy moly, what am I doing here? Cause that's where he was loading all his shells and bullets and everything, and I'm sitting in there with a bunch of gunpowder and no, this ain't the place I wanna be.
I like the house down beside, that's,
On this side of mine dust?
yeah, mine does. Couldn't
Yeah,
think of the name of it.
I remember that one.
When that caught fire, the ammunition was going off.
Well, that was the house
Everybody
right
said,
next to
oh,
it.
Sure.
ammunition
Yeah.
will hurt you.
Strary's
but this
house,
blows
and then
up.
Clyde's
they
old house,
sold it before it all got tore down, and yeah.
Scares.
So, you, Ron, Tom, and myself were at the fire station. Must have been 11:30 or so at night. I don't know why we were all there. And we get a call for difficulty breathing. Do you remember that? So we jump in it and we take off. It's on Berry Road, last house on the left. get there, go in, you're leading the cots in, going in, and the woman there said, she's back here in the bedroom. So we go through this farmhouse, and it's got hardwood floor on. It's got throw rugs on the floor, and I hear this scratching noise. And I'm last in line, and I look, and here's the biggest Doberman I ever seen. And this guy's got it tackled, and he's on a throw rug, and that dog's on the hardwood floor.
Trying to get to you.
Trying to get to us. So we go in the bedroom, and just as we get inside the door, there's a bassinet on the right side with a baby in it. And he's already on around, and I hear this real timid voice, I'm not pregnant. And I look over, and there's a big mound, okay? She was pregnant. And that was her baby in the bassinet. This, we found out, was a house for unwed mothers. So anyhow, we get her loaded up. We're going back out. He's ahead of me. I'm on the head of the cot. Ron's at the bottom of the cot, and Tom's behind. Now, no disrespect for Tom, but he had a pretty large stomach. And Tom, on the way out, seen the dog. And he's hitting Ron. Boom, boom. Let's go, let's go. Well, Ron don't know what's going on, and he's swatting at Tom. So we get out in the squad, and Ron says, what's wrong with you? He said, didn't you see that dog? I didn't see no dog. So we get to the hospital, we come in the door, ER nurse looked at her and said, take her to OB. So we put her on an elevator. He's at the foot of the cot. We get to the top, and when the elevator stops, I hear a whoosh. And he says, what in the world? And you hear this real timid voice, my water broke. But she wasn't pregnant.
Remember that? But I didn't say what in the world.
I just said,
For public editing.
Yeah.
That's what
What
you said.
that?
and then you get this real timid voice, I think my water broke. And we wheeled her out there, and the ER nurse, or the OB nurse, said something about calling the doctor or whatever, and pretty soon she, just like an outfielder, she said, forget the doctor, we got it taken care of, it's okay.
So he was this close to a delivery then.
Oh, yeah.
Or that.
Been a lot of those.
Yeah. Do you remember the night, Lanny, we went up to the disco place, with the girl unconscious? And we get there, and we're tending to her and stuff. Well, she's got these big thick shoes on, they call them clogs. Well, she draws back and kicks me right in the mouth. Well, I have a partial plate.
Had a partial
From a clog.
She got it turned sideways. Well, make a long story short, poked holes in the top of my mouth. Well, we get her very tightly strapped down on the cot, and goes pick the cot up. He's got the head end. I get the foot end up. Well, the head end's not coming out. I go, Bailey, what are you doing? Well, I don't know. All of a sudden, I go, you're standing on her hair. She was real long hair. He's standing. I bet you when she woke up, she had a headache that would never stop. I will never forget that. That was funny.
Served her right for kicking you in the mouth.
Yeah, I did. Well, that did hurt. I remember that.
Yeah, that was back in we started the rescue squad in 1974, when the funeral homes went out. So we bought an ambulance off of Harder, and that was our first ambulance. To run that, all we had to have was first aid.
Right.
So we didn't know nothing. Just, here we are out running the people's houses.
Not like harder, load and go.
Load and go.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, there it
That's
is. Yeah.
Well, the crazy thing is, we went in service in June, like he said, with basic Red Cross. That's all we had, because the state dumped this on us. They stopped the funeral homes and dumped it on the fire department and never thinking about training us for doing anything. So we did training in June, and the guy that did our training said, well, you probably have maybe 25, 30 runs a year, is probably what you're gonna have. So in October that same year, the state finally brought out their first EMT books. So we go back into class. We'd had 65 runs from June to October, when he said we'd probably have maybe 30 runs a year, you know,
Yeah,
and it never quit from there.
still climbing.
Going up.
Okay, nobody had to deliver a baby or anything here, did
No.
they?
No.
Me and Lanny come pretty close one night. The blizzard of '77. Remember that?
Yeah.
Dave Good's daughter, she was married. Why, she decided, you know, it's time. So on snowmobile, we head out to the place out here on Dutch Hollow. No, yeah,
Dutch
Dutch
Hollow.
Hollow.
Yeah.
And
Brick house.
the big old brick house. And we get there, we're tending to her, we stopped and got Judy Fetter. Then we stopped and get her to help
Yeah.
somebody.
I don't know.
Well,
No,
anyway,
you got, go ahead, your story.
but,
Yeah, Judy Brenneman Fetter, she was a nurse. Yeah.
Yeah, but that,
Nelson.
that wasn't her.
That wasn't her.
you got the Brocious girl.
Ruth.
Sue.
Sue.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
because she lived right there on Dutch Hollow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I remember on the way out there on snowmobile, I'm on the back, Lanny's driving. The snowmobile does one of these, and I go, "What are you doing?" He goes, "That was a car." Huh? We were driving over roofs of cars in snow drifts. But we get out there,
That was a '78 blizzard, not '77.
yeah, I got my hours on.
Yeah.
Well, one of my years. Anyway, we hear this rumbling noise, and we think, what in the world? Well, here Dave Good comes from out here on Pequod Road, over there on a bulldozer.
Clear the way.
Yeah.
Clearing the way.
How deep was the snow?
Well,
Is
above
that-
the cars,
above
it was above
the
cars.
cars?
Yeah,
Oh,
when
yeah.
one thing I remember, when we got out to, where Pioneer Road comes out to 309, Dr. McNutt Veterinary Clinic was right there, and the snow was up to the top of his sign, which was pretty high.
Mm.
And the dozer disappeared ahead of the ambulance. And we thought, now what do we do? Well, he stopped and backed up. They changed drivers because there was a guy riding with him. They got in the squad and warmed up, and he took us all the way to St. Rita's. When we got to St. Rita's, there was a face like this looking out of every window because that thing shook the whole building. Yeah, that was.
Cause they even cleared it up at the
Yep,
hospital.
yep,
Gotcha.
yeah, he took us all the way to emergency. Yeah.
While on that topic, what other Blizzard of '78 stories do we have?
Oh.
You know, so, we're all,
They're gonna tell on you terrible
I
today.
know they
Larry.
I called him that
I
morning.
can't get even now.
So I called him that morning, I said, "You been outside yet?" He said, "No." So you need to look outside. I'll meet you at the fire station. That was his comment after he looked outside. Of course, we just lived down the street from each other, so we went over to the station, got in our grass rig, which had a winch on the front, and we started down Beatty Road, and we winched ourselves out probably 2-3 times. He said, "This is stupid, we're going back to the fire station." So back to the fire station we went, and we spent 3-4 days, we never went home. But one of the first calls that come in that he took was a lady on East Town Road, said, "I need you to go get my birth control pills." His answer was, "Ma'am, that is not an emergency." Hung up.
Depends on who you're talking to.
Well, it wasn't that day.
Was her.
Yeah. But
You have to do something else, cause.
the crazy thing is, I wish now that I would have had the ability then to take photos of stuff we seen there, because like Sam said, we were out on the corner of Good Road and Good and Bliss, and I'm riding around there on my snowmobile, and I see this red dot in the snow. It's about this far above the snow, and it's like, what in the world is that? Well, at that time, the state of Ohio pickups they had an antenna on the roof with a red antenna with a red ball on top of it. That's all I seen of the pickup. That was everything. Pickup was below that.
In the snow.
We were out on the west side of Breslau, riding along. We stopped, looked down, and there was the telephone lines beside us. We were above the telephone. People don't
Yeah, it's hard to comprehend even now, when you look back,
When you think back
how,
about it, yeah.
how bad that was.
Yeah. And you didn't have cell phones and stuff.
Oh, what are
yeah,
you talking about?
Yeah.
We'd like to have a radio.
Yeah, well, we kinda got a thing going after this all started. When the snowmobile left, there was certain things they took with them, like bread, 2 packs of cigarettes maybe, and some milk, because wherever you stopped at might need one of those 3 things, and that's,
Well, do you remember what the guys at the Pennington Bread place
well, I
did?
was just gonna bring that up.
They called and said, you know, we really don't have an emergency, but we have a lot of bread here if you need it to take to people. I said, well, man, that'd be fantastic. There's just one thing. When you come to get the bread, would you please bring some cigarettes?
So we emptied the back of the squad out.
Yep.
And Pennington Bread, now, you remember Pennington Bread up on the Lighter Road? Went up there and loaded the squad up with bread, brought it back, just got in the station, got a call. Bread was going everywhere to get that ambulance emptied out, and get caught back in it.
Great stories.
Can you tell us, in looking back through Dad's pictures, where you guys used to burn a house down intentionally for training? If you can talk a little bit about that?
No, we.
You
No,
did
not.
what you were supposed to do to train.
Can you talk about it?
We burned a lot of houses
And barn.
for training, and a lot of barns. Today, you can't do that because the EPA won't let you. But we had to get a permit from the EPA to use the building for training purposes. So we would go out, we'd set these places up, we'd do live fire training, and one day, I forget where we were, but we was doing live fire training, and I had drove the pumper in, and the fire was in a house, and the fire got away from us, and it got too hot. It burnt the house down.
Was
But
that
the
the
heat-
intention to begin though,
but
was
the
to burn it
engine-
down?
Oh, yeah, that was,
Okay.
oh, yeah.
But
Okay.
slowly.
But
Maybe not that
slowly,
fast.
controlled, controlled burn.
Control. We wasn't under control.
That was on the corner of Diller and Easttown.
Is that where
Or
it
no,
was?
Sunnydale and Easttown, the old white place. Yeah, kinda melted the gauges a little bit.
Yeah, it did.
Needed hard to read after that.
It got a little too hot.
So-
Something I remember we did, but I think it was cruises out there on Stevic Road. We burnt the house, we had all kind of training, we'd set cameras up and did
Yeah,
arson training.
that's when you guys left me in the house and the door locked and I couldn't get back out. Yeah, I remember that real well.
But one of the things I remember is, they said, well, why don't you guys go ahead and burn the barn wire here too? And I remember saying to Lanny, I'd like to try something. He said, what? I said, I'd like to just walk out in the barn, drop a match in there in the straw and see how long it takes before it burns down. And I remember it took 8 minutes, and it was a skeleton. And I said right then, that's why we can't save a barn.
Yeah.
Cause it takes that long to get there.
I remember one time, it was on a Sunday, and I went to church across the street, and, you know, you're dressed up for Sunday. Well, we went to a lot of fires that was
Overdressed.
pretty well dressed for firemen. It wasn't fire equipment, but it was pretty well dressed. Before they built all the hamburger joints and stuff up there in 309, there was a house on fire. And I put a mask on to go up in, and we went up into the second floor. And I was really nervous. And then I got into the room and something fell. And I thought, oh my lands, is that a baby? A kid? Well, it was a doll, about that tall, standing in the corner. And I thought I was gonna have a heart attack. Was there, I said, oh, and then when I got a hold of it to check it out, then I found out it was a doll, and I, oh, okay, I can handle this now.
So-
But it scared me to death.
Christmas time, Ron Coolidge's place back the lane.
Oh.
I was had got a new suit for, a suit for church, and we were at church and the tones went off. Last time I wore that suit because I ruined it. That's the day it was so cold.
And
The water was,
windy.
well, the water was freezing before it got to the house. The wind was blowing.
Yep, the
Ooh,
pump froze up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it was cold.
You remember Lester Cressman's house fire
Oh.
out on
Grub Road.
Road? It was colder and cold. Ron and I were the only two in the truck. I was driving. We turned the corner down here. We could see the smoke. I looked at Ron. I said, "There ain't enough of you and me." He said, "No, we need help." So I called Spencerville, and talking about our buddy, and I said, "I don't need a truck. I need personnel." And it was, I don't know, 25 degrees. I mean, it was cold. Here comes Spencerville with a pickup truck, 2 guys in the cab, 4 guys in the bed of the truck. Drove all the way from Spencerville up, and it was cold. The truck froze up remember the old manual gauge?
Yep.
That stuck, froze, and I didn't know it, and all of a sudden, I didn't have water. But here he come. He brought 4 guys. That's what I asked him to bring. I didn't expect him to bring an open pickup.
The old International truck that we had, we done some work on it because many times it wouldn't start. And we separated, made sure the battery wasn't drawn dead because we cut that off. And I had an old 58 Chevy, 6-cylinder. And I'd hook onto the front end of that fire truck. And I remember going west down Main Street. And I started pulling the fire truck with my car. Got as far as the town hall. It started. I pulled my car off to the side, jumped back onto the truck, and we went to the fire. But I used my car to start the truck.
Yeah.
A good truck when you got it started. Some of those things,
So
they do.
he and I and Charlie Renew set duty on Friday nights a lot.
Is that where?
Duty,
Oh, yes.
the rescue squad, and we did the football field, the games. Charlie was an awesome man. Charlie could talk to anybody, anytime, and that was really important in the medical end of it, to being able to talk to people. So we're over at the football game. They want us to call, one of the Edwards boys got his bell rung. He was clear out of it. So we pull out there, load him up. Well, at that time, the team doctor was Dr. Curry. You guys remember him? So we load Mr. Edwards up. Charlie and I get in the back. Dr. Curry gets in the back. Lanny's driving. And I think one of Edwards' parents got in the front. So we're going to the hospital, and Charlie's working on getting patient assessments and all this stuff and everything. We get this all done, and Charlie sits down, he turns around to Dr. Curry, and he said, "We don't normally let parents sit back here, but that's all right." And the guy, Dr. Curry, said, "Well, I'm the team doctor." Charlie said, "Well, hell, get in there and do what you're supposed to do then." Dr. Curry said, "No, you're doing just fine. You're just doing just fine." Excuse my language, but
Charlie, like, why am I doing it if you're here?
that first panel squad we had, the big,
Big box.
it had a sliding door on it, and when you opened it, you had to take both hands and open it. And when you closed it, you had to do the same, because if you took one hand and went like this, it'd fall off.
Right off the hinge.
So I pulled out of here to go west, and Charlie's coming out of his house, so I stopped. He grabbed the door. Sure enough, went like this, it fell off. There we are in the street, the siren's going, the lights are going, the door's laying in the street. Charlie did his door back up. You could get it back on, but it took a little time.
Is that this one, Ralph, or was this before when you're talking?
Yep, that's it right
That's it?
there.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we thought we was in 7th Heaven.
Oh, yeah, that was,
Yeah.
that was a Cadillac.
That was,
Yeah.
yeah, that was a Cadillac from that meet right
That was
there
nice.
at the time.
Tell a
That's the
story.
second one, then this one was the one that came after Harder's ambulance then?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
That was a prototype.
Okay.
The Superior Coach, that was the first one.
Yeah.
Now, I'll tell you a little story about your dad, James.
This is gonna be good.
Well, on that particular vehicle right there,
This one, okay.
between the front and the back, there was a window about this. Of course, the back window, that's just a normal van with a back window. Well, they made a slider out of that window between the front and back.
So whoever's in the front driving could talk to whoever's
Uh-huh.
back here, okay.
I'm driving. We're going to hospital. Your dad's in the back. Patient wasn't critical. I hear this noise. And I don't know how he did it, but your dad come through that window and sat down in the seat beside me, and he's all right. I don't know how he got through that hole, but he did.
When you were talking about being interviewed or whatever, you work here in town, you know, when we need town people and all that. Cause Dad always, I remember growing up, always worried about the afternoon fire, when the
Right.
second shift people had already left for work and the first shift people weren't home yet.
Yeah.
And he just dreaded it when that phone rang at that point in time, cause he knew it was gonna be hard to get
Yeah.
people called in. It was always a scary time.
So I'm working at school and get a call, siren goes off, I jump on my bike and I'm coming out over there. He's coming down the front sidewalk on his bike. He said, "You be the lights, I'll be the siren." Remember that?
We were headed for the fire station.
But it wasn't nothing unusual to go by and see 2 or 3 bicycles
Oh, yeah, and
or
Tom,
more.
Tom
laying
always
it-
would come. 'Cause it
Tom was a treat to watch him
Oh,
ride a
yeah.
bicycle, I'm telling you, that was not a pretty sight.
But he figured he could get there faster on the bike than backing the car out and
Yeah,
oh, yeah,
down
oh,
the
yeah.
alley and doing all
Yeah.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
What about the night Jerry Steeman, or Jerry Smith and Everett Ladd ran into each other back in the alley? They both thought, well, we'll just run to the station.
It didn't work.
They ran right into each other, about took each
Probably
other out.
ran.
Yeah, yeah. So Everett Ladd had the record. We called him on every wreck, okay? Don't care what time of night or day it was, when he would get there, his first words out of his mouth was, "Why did they park it there?" I don't care where it was at, how it was. So we get a call one night, we respond over on Beatty Road over the airport. We get there and we look out in the field, it's Everett Ladd's pickup sitting in the middle of the cornfield. It's like, oh, this is gonna be good. So meanwhile, back at the ranch, Everett goes out to get in, because we called him, we need a record. He goes out to get in his pickup and it's not there. So he goes back in and wakes Kate up, said, "Where's my pickup?" Kate's like, "What are you talking about? My pickup's not in the garage." "I don't know where your pickup is, I didn't park it." So he finally took her car and come over to where we were at, and he's like,
Cause the wrecker was down at the station.
Yeah,
And he'd get it and then
yeah.
go, okay.
he got over there with the record, and it's like, "That's my pickup." "Yeah, it is."
One of you say, why is it
Why did they
parked
park
there?
it
But he had a habit, he'd throw the keys on the floor.
Somebody do that.
And the local kids, local kids got it, and they took it for joyride. But he just got all upset with Kate because she did something with his pickup while they were sleeping.
Sleeping.
Remember Curb Steeman?
Yeah.
Lived down there on Baxter.
Yeah.
The day his wife lost her car.
Margaret? She lost the car?
Yep, she went to town, did some shopping and stuff, come home, pulled into the IGA, went in, got her groceries, she walked home.
They lived right there
'Cause she
beside
lived
it.
right behind the
Right, across the
IGA.
backyard, cause across Glass's house
Yeah,
over to
Curb
there.
come home and said, "Where's the car?" "It's in the garage." "No, it's not in the garage." "Somebody stole it," so they called the cops.
Yeah.
And the police come and make a report and everything else. Within a half hour, they're knocking back on the door, said, "Well, we found your car. Where's it at?" "Sitting in the IGA parking lot." "What?"
And Margaret went.
Yeah, she was embarrassed, I'm sure. She walked home. Well,
She was pleased to walk into the store.
yeah, cause she always walked back and forth to get groceries from home.
Got out of her routine that day.
Yeah.
Didn't
So
there
while-
used to be a siren back there in the backyard of Glass's house?
Oh, yeah, it was one, two of them.
That was,
That was the small one, the big one was down here.
Because on Baxter Street where I'm.
Yeah,
Yeah, the big one was on the tower behind the fire
yeah,
station.
right behind my house.
Remember the day we took that down?
Well, yes, I do. I remember that very well.
Did you drop it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, you gotta understand.
We had a,
It's huge.
we had a crane come in.
Yeah.
And we was gonna pick it up, take it down, and we put an eye bolt in it,
Yep.
not thinking that it should have been a welded eye bolt.
It was a thread.
But we hooked the hook into it, picked that thing up, and the eye bolt opened up, and down it came.
I'll probably find pictures of that.
Probably.
As I keep looking here. So then I see that, then I'll know what it was.
Did you say you had the, one of the firefighters?
Yeah.
I don't, the actual phone, no. But I remember when it was in the house, yeah.
Because I was thinking somebody had told me just recently that they'd
There
come
was-
across the phone.
yeah.
I told you
there
about
was
the one
another
from the
phone.
fire station up there on the wall.
There was another
Oh, that
phone.
one maybe.
Is that
was
it?
Now,
it,
this
yeah.
one that's up here was up above, down on Plum Street.
Okay.
And evidently when it quit working and y'all painted that turquoise up there. Remember that upstairs being turquoise? Well, when
Wasn't
y'all,
me.
I don't
Wasn't
remember.
me.
let me tell you, it was turquoise.
It was
When y'all
very-
painted,
Right.
Wasn't me.
when y'all painted it, you painted the wall right over the whole phone. So when you built this and closed that down, and Dad brought that home and said, well, here's the old fire phone if you wanna do something with it. Jim and I worked hours stripping that down, so that's it, that was on the wall down there. Yeah.
Vern Evans had a phone in his barber shop.
Barber shop,
That's
yeah,
right.
cause he was always right there.
Across the street, right there.
I wonder how many guys had to come back and get their hair cut later. When the phone rang, he was leaving.
He just
He'd go.
He'd answer the phone, go across the street. and-
Remember when the radio caught on fire in the old dispatch?
Mhm.
Was that down on Plum or over
No,
here?
right here,
Over
right here.
Okay.
A little radio room
Yep.
in the old, it caught on fire. I was there after school and we had it out on the apron, put it out. Couldn't call anybody. Couldn't get the phone.
Don't tell anybody we had a fire.
That's right. No.
Did you guys ever have to respond to a fire at the school at any time point?
At school?
Yeah.
School?
At the school,
We
yeah.
responded a few times,
Yeah.
but it was mostly for some kid.
Chemistry room.
Mm.
Smoking in the restroom.
Smoking in the restroom, and some kid
Do you
hit
remember when the
the,
FFA?
played with the alarm
got
and stuff
alarm.
like that.
Cafeteria and the fire, and the
Yeah.
But
FFA
didn't have
room.
That would
Didn't
have
really
had to been
respond
about,
many fires,
Late
that's
60s?
fire stuff.
no, it was after that. Well, it might have been 68. I graduated in 66. It was after that.
Yeah, it was when I was maybe sophomore,
Okay.
junior. Cafeteria and
Yeah.
the BOAG room
So I know somebody else mentioned Bressler Reservoir too. Did you guys have any involvement when that was getting dug out and everything?
No.
There was
That
no
one was
involvement there
dug
with
out,
it?
but-
Okay.
No.
We were out
I
there
don't
on my birthday 2 different times for.
That lies
suicides.
within the township that we serve.
and most of it before they actually.
The city of Lima owned
It's
it.
just-
Oh, okay.
But anytime we had a call out there, we would call the city too. And they would
Mounds and-
respond
I
out.
remember one time at the end of Cotton Road there, coming into camp from Bressler, that big old farmhouse, we got a call out there. And it was like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. There was only a couple of us that was able to respond at that. And we found out the mother came out and she was just, sorry, there's no emergency. And what had happened in school that morning, the kindergartners was having lessons on how to respond to 911 fire calls. And the kid went home
And did it.
and
Had to
called.
try it. See if it was gonna happen.
See if it- Yeah.
Wanted to say it was true.
Yeah, and it worked. We was out there. Fortunately, there was no fire or anything, but, okay, try to control that just a little bit, please. Cause at that position, if there would have been a fire, Shawnee would have probably been called and responded also.
Yeah.
Cause it's right there at the corner of the, okay, we'll try this.
So we had a call wintertime, chimney fire on Friar Road. And at that time, Lima responded also because they were there 24 hours, whatever. So Lima's already there, and our pumper showed up, and there's no fire hydrants at that area. It wasn't, and they're just scrambling because they don't know what to do because there's no fire hydrants. Tom was coming with the tanker.
He always drove a tank.
Ron said, hydrants are coming. I, what do you mean? He said, listen. What? Listen. Oh, here's the siren. Yeah, that's the hydrant. What are you talking about? Tom pulled up the tanker, we got water. They was having,
City only had like 250 gallon of water to work.
most of that leaked out where the hydrant.
Yeah, and then hook up to
Oh,
a
yeah.
hydrant, see, and then, but 250 gallon of water, half of it splashed out.
Tanker Tom showed up, we had water.
Remember when we used to do all the parades and stuff with the Keystone Cops?
Oh, yeah, we had, yeah, she had talked about
Talked
it.
about that earlier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
got some pictures of the Keystone Cops here to
Yeah.
We had
get
a
fixed
lot
up
of
to
fun.
put up over here.
Yeah.
And you always took them out of the crowd, and it's usually a political person or something that you put in jail.
Yeah.
So, Mrs. McDonald in Lima, if I remember her first
Martha
name,
McDonald,
Marty?
Martha McDonald.
Yeah,
Yeah, now that would be,
George.
relations to George, yeah.
Yep.
so she got a hold of us. She hired us to go to Lazarus store when they first opened, and we had run of the property. Yeah, we went through the whole store with our get up, whistles and everything. Any place we wanted to go. She just loved us. She had us at the Milano's Club, I don't know how many different times. We'd go in and get somebody that was having a birthday or whatever. And she got the biggest kick out of us.
I always liked going to the nursing homes. We'd go to parades and then we'd always stop in a nursing home. We stopped in there over in Cryersville one time, I can still remember. There was 4 elderly ladies sitting there in a chair, and I said, come here, hide behind us, because I was the villain. I said, okay.
In his striped suit, and there's
So
pictures here.
I'm hiding behind them, and these guys come up there blowing their whistles, and they're going, and the one gal stood up with her cane, she says, he's mine. Okay. Another time we was running, and these guys we usually had mini bikes, but every now and then somebody's would break down. Well, I'd go on foot, and I was running, and these 2 gals run out and said, here, quick, hide in here. So I go to see where they want me to hide, and it's the back of a hearse. I said, nope, not ready yet. Yeah, we had a lot of fun.
How many years did you do that all together? Do you
Oh,
recall,
my.
maybe?
It was a long time.
Yeah, I know.
We started in 76.
76?
Well, yeah, when
76,
70, yeah.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Cause I'm writing this down.
First year was 75.
Okay.
That's when it was the pickup, my pickup, and then we got that vehicle, adapted it.
Well, you had it in the parade here at 78.
78.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm trying to think, we went
A
to,
lot of
It
Lima
was after-
parades.
it was
We had a
after
lot of Lima
78.
parades.
oh yeah, because we went to 2 or 3, 4 conventions with it.
Conventions. I think
Well,
you
I remember
went
we
across
got-
the
we
Port
towed it.
one time, didn't it?
Invited up Continental, I mean, we was all over the place.
Oh,
with
yeah.
it.
We-
Did you guys take it to, Port Clinton? when they
No,
had the
no,
convention?
we didn't go to
Didn't
Fort
go there
Clinton.
that I remember.
No, we didn't go to Fort,
I know I went up there with
Um,
a truck one time with me and Herman Miller.
yeah, we were up to Wasion
Oh,
with it. That's, no, we'll
6,
forget
7
about
years,
that.
maybe?
We won't tell that story, we'll forget about that.
That,
You tell that after,
oh, it's
after you're off
probably
the
more
record.
than that.
Yeah.
probably did the parade 15 years,
Yeah.
wouldn't you say?
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Well, see, Yeah, probably 85, 86 when we quit.
We're close.
Mid-70s to 85, 86 when we quit.
This question might predate you guys a little bit, but was anybody on the force when Pop Prince got murdered?
Yes,
Oh,
I wasn't on the
Oh,
force then,
okay.
but
I'm sure all you guys probably remember it though. I would
I
assume.
remember
Yeah.
that very well.
I was helping coaching 5th and 6th graders basketball.
Oh, okay.
And I lived back here on Johns Avenue. And I was going to school.
So you weren't too far from the site then. Yeah.
I went through the site before they had loaded him off.
Yeah, I remember we lived there on 309 where Lehman's is now. And all the police cars was going by and Dad said, well, let's go see what's going on. So we drove down there and pulled up there and I can still remember him laying there. That was sad. I was pretty young.
I wasn't there.
he was at Gomer Tech.
Yeah, he was a goer.
Gomer Tech.
They wouldn't let him out of town.
That's right.
Cheney Farm.
Huh?
Cheney Farm.
Oh, I wasn't on that one.
Yeah, we've had
That was my roughest one.
a lot of bad experiences too.
Uh-oh.
Come on
Have
in.
a meeting going on?
Come on in.
Meeting lines.
You're the chairman.
I'm the chairman?
You're all in trouble then.
Just talking to old.
You got anything else? Just
Yeah.
share whatever you feel like sharing.
Well, in 1987, the township trustees asked if the city of Lima was trying to annex the township, parts of the township,
To make
for
part
the water
part of the
issues. So they were trying to annex up in the Edgewood area. So the trustees come to me and asked me if we thought that we could provide fire service on a full-time basis up there. And I said, well, I think so, but I'll have to take it back to the rest of the body. And that's how that all became. They passed a levy. They built a new fire station up at Edgewood.
I seen levy signs where, at that point, from what I could tell, like you'd go and you'd bring in the people from Sugar Creek Township and you'd do a presentation and then it showed, the Marion and the different townships. Because you, not only just served Elida, but the area
Right.
townships as well. Okay, go ahead, Lanny. Just kind of confirming here.
So,
taking notes.
the ball got rolling, and we hired 3 people. The first 3, and that was Keith Brickner, Mark Biedenharn, and Scott Fessler. Those were the first 3, and myself. Those were the first 3 that were hired. So within the next year or 2 years, we increased that number. We had 4 guys at each station, 4 at Elida, 4 at Edgewood. And that's how it all became part of becoming paid. We still maintained all the volunteers.
Right. In addition to the 8 of you that work
Yes.
full-time then. And that was
And
between the 2
primarily,
firehouses.
the 8 were running EMS calls. They would get their EMT training and
To start off with, Elida Fire Department was a private company.
That's
Correct. It was not controlled by any government entity. And the Elida Fire Department contracted with townships in the area for their monies. So, I mean, it was a big change to go from a private entity
Yeah.
to a public entity. I mean, that was a big move.
well, we were private, but we used public money.
Right.
So
And
then
that created a couple of issues in itself. Because even though we used public money, we weren't classified into the police and fire pension.
As a public employee,
Right.
gotcha, okay,
So we had to set up our own pension plan, which we did.
right.
Wasn't a whole lot, but better than nothing.
So that would have happened then, that's making sense, why in some of the pictures I found in the eighties, why it said American Township on the building then.
Yeah.
Because that happened in 87
Right.
or 88.
Right.
Okay, that's, I was confused when I was going through that.
You're confused?
Yes, on a daily basis, huh?
And then we operated that way right up until 2007.
Okay,
And the township decided to start their own fire department.
gotcha,
Now, they didn't have any equipment. They had nothing to start the fire department with. They hired all of our personnel.
got you.
Uh,
And at that time, was it still running 4 and 4, or had you increased more?
No, we were still
Hey,
running
4 and 4 plus
Yeah,
volunteers?
Right.
Okay, and the volunteers also helped working the Edgewood station as
Yes.
well? Okay, okay,
I lost my train of thought.
sorry.
So you just wanted to pay
Equipment?
Oh,
equipment, yeah.
We owned all the equipment. But we went to court. But we didn't feel that it was right for them to start another fire department when we were serving the community all these years, since 1949.
Correct.
But the court didn't see it our way. So they were allowed to start their own fire company, but they didn't have any equipment.
Okay,
So we talked and talked and talked and finally decided, we don't have any people. They don't have any equipment. They can't go to a fire. We can take the equipment to the fire, but we ain't got no people to run it. So after a lot of discussion, we decided we would just title everything over to the township. Because the township, the residents of the township paid for the equipment.
gotcha,
So,
okay. So that's how then in 2007 it kind of blended in
Yeah.
then, okay.
Alrighty, guys. Well, we are up to 52 minutes on film, so I'm about ready to cut it. Does anybody have any
Well,
other?
we were just getting started.
That's right.
You're talking 50 years, we're only talking about we just talked about the first 10.
Well, Ralph,
We invited here to talk, but we didn't tell you you were gonna be on unlimited, didn't
No.
you?
you have one more story you want to share real quick, Ralph? Or does anybody else have one?
So, we talked before we went on film about your dad and the fire phone.
Yes.
I still think that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Because when we first started out, they had phones in different people's houses. The fire
Usually
chief would
the
always
chief
get
and
a
fire-
farm.
The chief and assistant
Yeah.
chief, and like you said,
So-
they're down to Clyde and the grocery and Laverne,
And-
cause they were both right there.
So the understanding was, after hours, Everett Steeman would answer the fire phone. Well, when he would pick it up, he would get the information, then he would hang it up. Well, every time the fire phone rang, the sirens would go off in town with the phone ringing.
The phone just made the siren go up and down,
Yeah.
till somebody actually got the station to press the
Yeah.
button to make it go solid, then that
So-
drew the boys in, they knew they had a fire.
Everett, the deal was, at night, Everett answered the phone, he would hang it up, and then he would take his personal phone and call back to the fire phone and just let it ring so everybody else knew that it was a call. So fire phone rings, Everett answers, gets the information, hangs it up, calls on his home phone, the fire phone rings, he picks it up, there ain't nobody there. Hangs it back up, calls on the personal phone, nobody there. He did this. Jenny's mom is laying in bed there and she's just dying laughing. She's not gonna say anything because she knows that Everett's not gonna believe what she's gonna tell him. So he did this about 4 times before he finally realized he was the one causing the fire phone to keep ringing.
So he learned that night then,
Yeah.
what happens when he turns around and goes back.
Yeah.
Don't answer. And that's what, you know, he would have, now that you're kinda saying that, I remember him saying, lots of times would do that, then leave the house when we were on Waker,
Yeah.
cause it'd take him a bit to drive down here.
Yeah.
So, you know, he's, you know, just ignore it, it's gonna ring, just ignore it, you know, you tell mom, just ignore it. So keep
But he
ringing
didn't
until he
that
got down here.
He wouldn't ignore it.
When I told you, we had 4 people at each station,
Uh-huh,
that was each shift. We had 3 shifts.
okay,
So in total, we had 24 firefighters, paramedics, plus the chief and the assistant chief. And I believe we're still operating at that number today.
I can't tell you for sure, I would guess.
And one of the things that, when we went to the EMT side, it was Elida was kind of, I don't know, set the trend or in forefront or whatever on that patient set or EMT side.
Mhm.
We had one of the first paramedics or first 3 paramedics, I think, in the county was from Elida. There was a group of us chosen to go do what they called IV sticks in the field. You didn't have to have, I went and did special training. I was one of, I don't know, 6 or 8 out of the county that could do IV sticks in the field, but we were kind of on the forefront of all of that. So that being said, when this all started, it was new to the hospitals, fire service, and everything.
so you guys were the pioneers in getting all this started where,
Yeah.
like, then eventually Bath, Johnny, and everybody had
And
their
most
thing.
of that stick IV stuff was in communication with
Oh,
a doctor.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
But the ER doctor at that time was a guy by the name of Baker. Remember Dr. Baker? His wife all showed up, so Bill Evans and I are going to do our training at ER training at St. Rita's. So at that time, the nuns were in charge of St. Rita's. I mean, they were the power. We being the EMTs, were not allowed in OB. So Bill Evans and I go in to do our time, and Doc Baker said, "You guys be ready tonight, because we're gonna deliver a baby." Cool. So Bill and I, so pretty soon he said, "Let's go." So we get scrubs on, away we go to OB, deliver the baby. Everything's cool, come down. Next morning, nuns cut the EMT program off and say, "You're done." Well, Baker went in to the top lady, whatever she was called, and he said, "You got 2 choices. I'll stay as the ER doctor. You open the EMT program back up. These people need to understand what they're reading in the book, how to do it in real life. Or, when I go through that door, I'm done. You have to get a new ER doctor." Well, he said, "No, right now." So he headed for the door. He got just about to the door and said, "Oh, hold it. So they opened the EMT program back up. But it was a new thing. I mean,
everybody just had to get everything figured out.
Right.
no, yeah,
Yep.
there's a lot of bugs.
And
KB Dixie, 695.
They just
Yeah,
took a little
remember
lose
that?
control.
Shirley Martin. We'll leave that off camera.
Alrighty, guys. I appreciate all you guys coming out. I just want to say thanks for taking part in this, and just thanks for preserving it for history's sake, too.
And we have Anna here, who would have been a part of the ladies auxiliary that formed. She wouldn't have been around
Okay.
1953 when it formed,
No.
but she came along, again, one of the kids,
So you
you
can
know, at
interview her
one
for
point
an
in
hour.
time. So,
Yeah.
What's that?
He can interview you for an hour.
Oh, that's all right.
All right.
I just invite you, then I do have some of the pictures out that I found of dads that I've gone through. If you wanna take a look at them, and if there's any info that you see on there you can give me that I can write on the back, you know, that's great.